What's up, guys? Very excited for tonight. Uh, have a tonight is the third episode of We Are the Community. Um, I'm very excited to introduce to you guys my next guest. I've actually known him for a little bit. I've streamed on his channel about two to three times now. Respect him very much. He's actually one of the realest people that I've met so far in the community. So I'm very excited for you guys to meet him as well. I know a lot of you guys have seen him already around, but I don't know if you guys really know too much about him personally. So let's welcome my friend. I don't know for how long.
That's up to you.
What's up, man? Thank you for being here. What's going on?
Hey, thanks for the invite. Thank you for the kind words as well, and happy Batman Day to you, Fabs. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be on your show. I think this is the first time I'm on your show, so yeah, looking forward to it. Very excited.
Yes, no, thank you for accepting the invitation. It's it's been crazy around the community lately, thanks to you. So so let me see who's in here. We got five in here right now. Tuli, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. David, what's up? Thank you for coming. Graham, please get out of the chat. DTR, man, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. Let's just see. So what's going on? I just found out actually. I didn't know it was Batman Day today. Somebody posted their collection in my group and was like, oh, happy Batman Day, and I was like, how does anybody know about this right now? Because I didn't.
Oh, Google's a hell of a website, but yeah, I mean, if you're checking in on Facebook or IG, yeah, everybody's putting their pictures up. I was late to the party. I just did it like maybe a half an hour ago, so don't want to miss Batman Day because he's obviously my favorite superhero.
Yes.
So
I didn't even know about it. Single songwriter, what's up, man? Thank you for coming.
What's up,
Yeah,
single
no, I had no idea. I had no idea when I saw the picture. I was like Batman Day, and for some reason I see it every year, and every year like I never know that it's a thing.
I wonder if anybody like goes hardcore and like actually like dresses up or does like a big celebration, gets a cake or has a party.
Like
Like I
at
wonder if
home,
people actually like do things like events and stuff, get real
I know
crazy with it.
I know there's people who do that. If people dress up to go see a movie, you know they're celebrating Batman Day.
People call in sick for work if it's like on an actual work day and then they just watch like Batman movies the whole day. That's something I would
Imagine.
do.
Would you consider Batman like one of your? Oh, well, you said he's your favorite, like what, DC or like overall?
Overall, yeah.
Oh,
Overall
Batman.
favorite hero, yep. Batman.
Wow. How many you have in your collection? One. Nice.
5.
Now, which Batman is your favorite out of the ones you've lived through?
See, that's tough. That's kind of like that's like picking your favorite food. Like there's a time and a place when steak's my favorite food, and then there's a time and a place when pizza's my favorite food. So totally different, but yet I love them all. Um, Obviously, Michael Keaton has the nostalgia factor. Like we were talking the other night on my channel, that was like one of the first movies both of us saw in the theater with our dads, and really good memories with that. Plus, it's a really good movie. Some people think it hasn't aged well, but I think it's actually still a pretty good, pretty solid movie. If we're just talking strictly Batman, I know I'm in the minority with this, but Ben Affleck's my favorite Batman because I love the suit. I love the beefy Batman. I love just the way the suit looks. I love the cowl, the short ears, but then just the type of Batman that he portrayed. It was like that older, scruffy, worn out Batman that had seen a lot of death. Robin's gone, and he kind of just got sick of it. Like he used guns. He didn't care about. He didn't have this whole rule about not killing people. I don't know. It was refreshing to see, I guess. But honestly, the only ones that I can't stand is Clooney and Kilmer. So everybody else is good in my book.
And just to make it clear, we both have one dad because you said dads, so you made it like plural. So.
Yes, so, I saw it with my dad. You saw it with your dad.
Yeah, we both have separate dads, just one dad though. All right, so actually, tell them where that's coming from. The inside joke from.
That was from the Thor movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just watched it last night, and it was weird because yeah, you just brought it up that happened, and then like seconds later, it showed up on the movie. So it was an
Yeah, what did you
okay
think? What do you think
movie.
about the movie?
I knew it was like people were saying like it's not a great movie. Some of the worst movie ever, well, whatever, like Marvel movie ever, one of the worst. So I had low expectations, so I just kind of watched it. I knew it was going to be like probably overly funny, so I was kind of ready for it. So I enjoyed it. Some of the humor did seem over the top, like they're trying too hard, but some of it was really funny. And then towards the middle, though, it kind of like bogged down a bit. The story bogged down, and it was just like, okay, let's pick this up a little bit. It's not going to be one that's going to be remembered, but I mean, if you just want to sit back and kind of laugh a little bit, then I think it's a good movie to watch.
What is your favorite Thor movie out of all? Out of
Oh,
all?
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Ragnarok.
Yeah. That's when I like really started to like the character because they finally let Chris Hemsworth open up on his comedic prowess, I guess you'd say, and kind of let him explore that a little bit more. And yeah, I thought Ragnarok was really funny, and it took me a while to see that movie. So, but
But
then I just
Ragnarok?
yeah,
Yeah. You didn't see it in the movie theater?
no, because I wasn't like hardcore into Marvel until, geez, I mean, like I'd see some of them, but not all of them. And then I actually saw like Endgame before I even saw like the Ant-Man movies and a couple of the other ones. So I had to kind of like piece it together. And then I finally went back and watched. I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I think COVID is really when I got really into Marvel.
Yeah.
Watched all the movies, and then yeah,
No, that's cool. All right, so we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the meaty part of the live stream right now. So I want people to, because I don't know if anybody has interviewed you before. Just you and asked about you and your beginnings with collecting and stuff. So I want you to let people know how long you've been collecting, a little bit about you. If you remember, what were the first things you collected, and all that stuff.
sure. Well, I've been collecting Hot Toys. I guess I would call myself a COVID baby because I started collecting Hot Toys during COVID. um,
Stimulus check collector.
yeah, it's funny because I actually started my channel with a really good friend of mine, and he's actually my wife's cousin. We had actually a whiskey and cigar channel before this. We started that in like 2017, and with YouTube's rules and whatnot, they just really kind of like you couldn't really be successful on there if you're gonna have that type of a channel. So and we got busy too, and the community wasn't as like I guess as cool as this community. A lot of people would like stick their nose up at you and like if you weren't an expert in cigars or whiskey, you didn't belong type of thing. Where here, you can just be a collector and enjoy what you enjoy and
And
fit in
still
and
not
find people. Right. So so
belong.
we actually started this new channel, the Jedi Knights Watch, in the beginning of 2020. And it was going to be more of like NECA figures, Funko Pops, and then we wanted to get into Hot Toys eventually. We were going to talk about movies and stuff as well. And we did. And then I got my first figure in I think like April of 2020, and I was just like blown away. And then with COVID, we couldn't really get together, my buddy and I, and then life got in the way. And
What was the
he,
figure? What was the figure?
it was the BVS Batman.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Not on Sideshow, was it?
no, I got him on eBay used for like 250,
Okay.
and now his price is like double that. But yeah, I mean, we didn't have daycare. We were both working from home, so I had like this extra money to burn, and that's kind of what got me into the hobby. So now that we're kind of out, I got to budget a little bit better and make sure that I'm not tapping out. But yeah, so that's kind of how the channel started, and you know, he started getting a little bit busier and busier, and then I just like, well, I really like to do this, so just join me when you want, and then we'll go from there. But then I got into Hot Toys, and he got into kind of like the arcade one up. So we tried doing stuff. He would do arcade, I would do Hot Toys, but then again he got busier and couldn't keep getting arcades. So then I kind of just focused on Hot Toys, and I actually used a lot of my Funko Pops to fund my Hot Toy collection. Sold some of my NECA stuff as well. I still have my NECA Turtles, but that's about it. So
NECA, what scale?
the Turtles are quarter, but I mean I was getting the 7-inch
That's what
figures.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was what you were getting, yeah.
yeah. I had a lot of the TMNT stuff because those are pretty good figures. I had some of the Predator stuff, RoboCop, Terminator, but then
All 7 inches.
yeah, yeah. I never got any quarter scale stuff other than those. So yeah.
And what now that you're in the community, what are your likes and dislikes of it? Like, start with the likes. What do you really enjoy about collecting and the figures? And now you have, a lot of third parties, which I don't know if you know anything about prior. You saw Hot Toys. You started with Hot Toys, like a lot of us did. And then now seeing the market with so many advances again with so many third party companies and all that stuff. Like, how does that make you feel?
Well, I mean, I guess some of my favorite parts of collecting in the community are just that the figures are so awesome, and I guess they bring so much joy, and they just bring back so many memories as well to my childhood and just good times, and you can pose them. So I think that's really cool. Community's been great. I met a lot of great people, including yourself. That I wouldn't have necessarily here where I live. I have an outlet to hang out with people that like the same thing. Where the friends I have, I guess, in real life, if you want to call it, they don't like the same things, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Okay, next." Or they'll look at you weird and be like, "Why do you have all these?" And yeah, that's cool. But no, so yeah, it's just it's nice to hang out with people that have the same thing in common as you. So, as for the hobby itself, it can obviously be quite addictive and spiral out of control if you don't have it under control. So, I mean, I've learned that pretty quickly. Um, so I've been getting a lot better this year at budgeting and kind of spacing out my purchases and making sure I'm buying stuff that I love instead of just like, because like I go to collectible stores and I'd see something in the window which is different than like just browsing eBay because it's like right there. I'm like, oh yeah. I talk myself into, I think I would like that, and I think I might want to get that, and I'd get it, and then just it is what's taking up space. It's not something that I look at all the time or pose. So I'd wind up selling it, and sometimes at a loss. Or like I think I got Ray from The Last Jedi. Cool looking figure, but like I got her trying to like think I would love it. Never even took her out of the box, and then I just decided to sell her because I'm like, this was stupid. So yeah, I've learned stuff like that. Learning a lot about reissues lately. That nothing is safe. I don't know if there's going to be any grails in the future because, man, if they're going to reissue, and I know we'll talk about it later, but if they're going to reissue the tactical Batman, I mean, what is safe? That was only a couple of years ago, and that's crazy. So, but yeah, I mean that's what I like. Obviously, I don't like waiting a year and a half for the figure. I don't like it that the prices are inflated, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But I mean, other than that, I'm pretty easygoing guy, so it's not too much that I don't like.
What is the one thing that you would change about the whole collecting situation right now? Just overall, like in general. With whether it's the reissue problem or the prices or the wait time for the figure or whether it's something more specifically like bases in the figure,
Right.
or,
That's a good question. Obviously, I'd love it if the prices were down into like the low 200s, just because I think you'd have more of the how do I want to say it, like normal class of people could afford these. Not that I'm above normal or anything like that, but like it'd be more affordable for everybody. Like everybody could be in this hobby, and I think more people would be. But because it is such a premium product and such a high price, not everybody can do it. So obviously, it'd be cool if they were more affordable. But I get it. They're limited. They're really high in detail. Many points of articulation, stuff like that. I would cut the wait time down to like 6 months. Like I wouldn't announce something unless I could get it out within 6 months, because I think it just takes too long for some of these figures to come out, and then either the hype is gone or people maybe change their mind because something else came out, so now they got to save money for that. So it'd be nice if things could come out a little bit quicker. And then you did mention the bases. I've always been a fan of actually diorama bases. If they could incorporate more of like a diorama base with the figure, I think that would be really cool because some people don't care, but like most of mine, I don't even use the base. But like if we actually had like something where it was like part of the artwork, I think that would just add to the figure and add to the real factor. I mean, look at this guy. He got this awesome base.
So yeah, no, that's a beautiful figure. But again, so for example, like I've said this before, many times. I don't have a problem with how cool the bases are because they're always really cool, especially the diorama.
Right.
I think my problem with them is that when you get to a level of, on the size of the collection, you have too much or you have a lot, not too much, because too much is, I don't think there's ever too much. But when you have a lot and you're limited with space, especially depending on what type of cases you have to display them in.
True.
I think that unless you're using them as a display on a shelf of a D12 by themselves, I think that's when you really get to appreciate those bases. I think adding multiple figures around bases like that, I think they get lost, even though, like, for example, that Captain Sparrow, being high off the ground, because he's up top,
Yep.
you may be able to still, enjoy it that way. But being that tall, it won't fit in a D12 anyway. So that's my issue. It's like, yeah, they're cool. Yeah, they're big, but it's too much. You know what I mean? It's too much. And again, even that one specifically, it's way too tall to fit properly in the details. So what are you going to do? Where do they expect you? Because, by now I would think, Hot Toys has been around for decades. I would think that they know how collectors display their stuff, whether it's details, whether it's, anything that you get in China or Hong Kong or, now obviously that's brand new, but module cases now, like even before module cases, all we have, everybody had details and
Right.
in Asia, China, Hong Kong, everybody has their own little thing here and there. And, you have cool cases, you have people making their own custom stuff as well. But it's like, wouldn't they figure out a way, and they can, because they're capable of doing so much stuff. Wouldn't they be able to come up with a base that is cool, but not so much space consuming that it's gonna, because right now I don't use any of them. You know what I mean? So I have to buy my own bases due to the fact that the stock bases won't work for me. And again, so I'm paying, because that's another thing they charge you for.
Yep.
They charge you for these bases. It's not like they're free with the figure. You're paying a lot of the price increases of these figures. You get the exact same figure with a different base. It's another $20, $30 more. And you could say it's inflation. You could say it's whatever, but you're paying for that base, period. So here I am buying, these reissues with these different bases, bigger bases, fancier bases, and I'm not even using them. So it sucks for me because I'm still paying for them, but it's like, well, what am I going to do now?
I think it'd be cool if they did like something along the lines of what InArt's doing, where you have like tiers of packages that you can pick from. Like, just have like a stripped down version of the figure and a couple accessories, and then maybe the typical like oval base or something really standard, and then you kind of build up as you go. I understand it's probably not realistic, but it would be cool that if you could kind of pick and choose like what you like. Some people, like you said, don't use bases at all. It'd be cool if you could pay less and get less and just like focus on the figure type of thing.
But even InArt, though, if you look at, for example, I'm going to give you an example. The Pennywise, right? Those bases are cool. They're really, supposed to look like a stage.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's what it's supposed to look like. But then if you saw the Batman, it's a very boring, flat, very thin base.
Right.
So it's like, even if that were the case, every figure is not going to have those different packages. You know what I mean? They're all going to be mismatching anyway.
True.
So it's annoying. And that's my thing. It's like, one thing I wish, though, if every single company gave you more accessories over fancier bases, and they were all standard. So whether it's oval, whether it's round, but space saving, what do you call bases, rather than these crazy mismatched up and down, all over the place. Even some of the bases, like the one from the new Mark 46, that's not the first time that base has been around with the rocks and stuff. And you can't even stand the figure on them because
Right.
the base goes like this, and the
Yeah,
feet got to
that's
be angled weird. And so even bases like that again look very cool and go very well with the figures, don't I think
they're not
is
always
not.
practical.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're and again they're charging us for that. They're they're not cheap. None of that stuff is cheap, and when you're paying for that and you're not using it, it hurts even more, because I would love to use all my bases, but I can't. What would you do in that respect of bases if it was your company?
I'd probably just make diorama bases. I try to
What,
incorporate. I would just
like the one from Captain Sparrow?
Yeah, I would just try to. I would make it like a cool part of the figure that everybody would want to use. Um, just because me personally, I like it. If I'm paying the money for it, I want it to be something that I'm going to be using. When I pose the figure. So, um, typically, if I have a diorama base, I'm always going to use it, and if I don't, then I sometimes won't. But I'm kind of half and half. Like I have some like my more spaced out figures, they're using their bases, but then my bigger scenes here, there's no bases just because it's like you said, it's tighter. You're using more figures, so yeah, I can't use the bases there because I want it to all mesh together.
So now you mentioned that your first figure was BVS Batman, right?
Yep.
So now this is your very first figure. You order on eBay. How did you end up on there anyway to see this figure to begin with?
Well, because like I said, I was collecting Funko Pops, and then I started seeing like getting into NECA, and then I was watching like YouTube videos on these Hot Toys that I can't remember how I heard of Hot Toys, but I was watching videos on like the Joker, 89 Batman, all these other figures that I couldn't believe how detailed they were and how realistic they were, and that's always like been something that I've loved, is like if I could get an action figure that was like so realistic. So that's kind of how I got into them and how I heard about them. And then for a while, like I was like for a few months, I was just waiting. Like I wanted to pull the trigger. I'm like, oh, just it's too expensive. Do it sometime down the road. But then I saw this Batman figure. He was loose for a really good deal. So I'm like, I'll just at least get this one. And then it turned into like 50 some other figures down the road. So yeah, that's how it started.
Well, that's how it's going. So all right, so you get this figure now. Now it's in hand. What goes through your mind? It's your first hot toy. What are you thinking?
I'm just like, I got one.
But you didn't even know anything about them. So why did you
I
sound
think
like you were so surprised?
by that time, like I said, I was watching videos. I knew enough about them. But yeah, once you get it in hand, you're still like that rookie, and you're like, what can I do with it? What can I? How far can I pose it? Or you don't know about like damaging the suits or
Right.
anything at that point. So,
Right.
yeah, I just got them out, just posed them a little bit. Wasn't the greatest. Obviously, I've had to get better at posing, but yeah, just put them on the shelf. Bought some more.
What did you have for shelves?
What's that? I had shelves that I made. I used like piping for the brackets, and then just like 1x12 boards, and I had a few shelves up on the wall, kind of like D Knight has now. But yeah, I didn't get DTOFs until a few months later.
And then all right, so then you get the figure. You love the figure. How soon after that one you decide I have to get the second one?
A few days, maybe a week.
That was
dude,
the second one,
dude, I went nuts a little bit in the beginning. So I think it was BVS Batman, and I'm like, oh shit, I need a Predator figure, so I got my Predator.
Do you remember which one was your first Predator?
It was the classic.
Oh, the original, yeah.
Yeah.
With
And
the
then
nice
I got
face, right?
yeah, it's got the nice diorama base. Empire Strikes Back Batman was next. The Crow.
Did you just say Empire Strikes Back Batman?
I'm sorry. Empire Strikes Back
Pretty cool.
Vader. I got Batman on the brain today. Vader. Yeah, pretty much started with all my favorite figures. I had the bank robber Joker because I couldn't afford the DX11 quite yet. So yeah, just kind of started going from there.
So now, wow. So you got the first two, and then how many do you have total right now?
I think around 50.
And when you buying anything in between, like any other brands or figures in between Hot Toys, or you just at that point you were just strictly Hot Toys?
No, I was still getting some NECA stuff. I was still getting a few Funkos, and then probably in a few months I started selling that stuff and just focusing on I like I love different things. Like I don't, you can't really see them because it's behind me, but I still do have like the 1/8 scale PVC TMNT statues, and then I do have a couple quarter scale in my DTOF here. But I wanted something like to unify. Like I mean, I know I have quarter scale here and then helmets down here too, but I didn't want NECA, I didn't want Funkos, I didn't want it all like meshed together. Because when I first got my DTOFs, I put NECA, Funko, and Hot Toys together, different sizes and stuff like that. But then I just wanted to focus on Hot Toys a little bit after that, so I started selling that stuff and just like going with like more of like scenes and all the same scale type of stuff.
What got you into Funko Pops?
Actually, that would be Rob, my wife's cousin, because we were just over there and he was showing me these Funko Pops and how they have like
he owned them.
He had a few, yeah, and just how they had like something for everything, something for everyone. We were big into Game of Thrones back then. That was back in Game of Thrones' peak time, and they had a bunch of Game of Thrones, and I couldn't really collect anything else that was Game of Thrones, so I started getting some Funkos, and it was a fun hobby because it was something we could go do like after work or something. You could go to a GameStop or a collectible store and you could actually browse and look. Something you can't do with Hot Toys, right, to an extent. You can't just go down the road and pick some up, and they're cheap, so you could get more of them, and it was an easier hobby to collect. So that's kind of how we started doing Funkos.
Easier in what sense? Easier because they're cheaper and they're just
cheaper, easier to get. Sometimes like they call it the hunt. That was fun. Like if you were missing this certain character, you would go all over Milwaukee and just like search different GameStops and see what we could find and dig through and stuff. So that was kind of fun.
Oh, like literally hunted for the figure.
Yeah.
Now, do you know anybody with like humongous like Funko Pop collections, or like because I've seen on Instagram like little reels of people with like
the walls,
entire wall. Yeah,
just imagine if you stack it so high and then it just starts like caving in on you or something.
But I've seen it. I'm like, oh my god, like and it looks cool. Like they leave them in the boxes, and it doesn't look stupid. It doesn't look ugly. It looks really, really cool. Just to be able to, I guess the achievement of being able to collect an entire wall of these things, it looks awesome. What were you trying to get at with those? Were you just collecting it as they came? Like, you saw one, I like it, that's it, or?
Yeah, I didn't really have a plan. It was just collect what you like and just keep collecting. I didn't really have a plan. And then I guess I really didn't have a plan until I decided to get these Maju cases, when I started really forming a plan of what do I want to do with my collection? What do I want it to look like? Because I kept rearranging things and selling and kind of wheeling and dealing because I just wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to go, and I wasn't really thinking too much. I was just kind of buying stuff that I really liked, and once I decided to go with Maju case, I was like, let's have an idea of what I want this to look like and where I want to go with it.
What happened when you decided to say, you know what, I'm going to start selling my Funko Pops? What was that deciding factor that made you say, you know what, let me just start getting rid of these?
Hot Toys is addicting. I got to get more. How can I afford it? I'll sell some Hot Toys. Would I rather have I'll sell some Funko Pops, because would I rather have these cool figures or, the cartoony looking Funko Pops? If I could save space and start to get some Hot Toys. So yeah, that was the deciding factor. It's pretty much just Hot Toys is just addicting and needed more.
And when you started selling, how many Hot Toys did you have at the time?
Probably 12 to 15, 12, something like that.
Did you ever think that you'd be up to 50 now, or it just happened?
I'm glad I'm not higher, to tell you the truth. No,
So you're not. So that's it. Your limit's 50, and you're not planning on.
not necessarily, but I'm just glad that it's not like it didn't spiral like too far out of control, and I have like 100 or
Yeah. Well,
something,
you
because
think
I've
that's
sold a lot
spiraling?
too.
100 is spiraling?
Well, I mean, in the 2 years of collecting, I would say so.
No way.
In 2 years,
102. I get. I mean, well,
that's
that's
24
going
months,
backwards. Yeah, but that's going backwards though.
right?
That's it. That's if you go backwards a lot. I don't think.
That's
I don't
basically
think.
a figure a week. That's over a figure a week.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot because it sounds like a lot because it's too quickly. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's just it. But if
That's
you
what I'm
have
saying. Yeah,
105 years, that's nothing.
right.
You
That's
know.
that's what I'm
So,
saying. Like in that short of time.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to, if you had to get rid of anything in your collection right now, what is the first thing you'd be like? You know what? I could get rid of this, no problem.
The helmets.
What do you have? Just a stormtrooper and
I
what else?
have the Stormtrooper, the Darth Vader, and then the Mandalorian.
They're from what brand?
That's the Black Series. Black Series helmets.
Those are the ones like one that you could actually put in,
Yeah,
like
you
put
can
on.
wear them.
Yeah, they light up and stuff, right? You got like battery.
Yeah, the Vader talks. I've never put the batteries in because I just don't mess with that. But yeah, I think a couple of them talk. Or the Vader breathes.
Oh, you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. My sister got me a War Machine helmet from. It wasn't the brand you just said. It was like a Marvel something, but you could get them at like GameStop.
Yep.
That's what she got it. Do you know what brand that is? Marvel what? It's like
I don't know
Marvel.
what the brand is, but I've seen like they have the Iron Man, they have the
They have Ant-Man.
Iron
They have
Spider.
the Iron Spider. They have Ant-Man. They have Star-Lord.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, they have all these. And I never got into. I never bought them, but she got it for me, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I don't think I put the batteries in, or maybe I did. It comes
Uncommon
with like
Flex says it's Marvel Legends.
oh, maybe yes, Marvel. I knew it was Marvel something. Marvelous. Thanks, Uncommon Flex. Yeah, no, I have one of those. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, this is cool. And I almost started to get it, because once I like start something, I'm like, oh, I want to have them all now.
Right.
And because of the material, they're cool, but they're kind of like flimsy. You know what I mean? They're not super like, they don't feel heavy duty. They don't feel like they're really expensive. They don't feel like it's something that's like worth, buying more of. I was like, you know what? Let me not even get into it. And I have also, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the collector's edition Mortal Kombat? Like it was like it came with, you see up there on top of the fridge, that Scorpion helmet.
Yeah.
So I thought when that game came out, I thought that was gonna be a put on helmet, like a Scorpion that you could put on. It's not. So I was like, oh man, I was so disappointed. But again, I kept it anyway. And then I don't know if you could see right next to it. Do you remember like the video game Killzone?
Yeah.
That's what that is too.
Okay.
That's the Killzone with the hoses coming out. It was supposed to be one of the soldiers in the video game.
Okay.
So that was another thing I was really into, was getting the collector's editions from the video games, and just to be able to get those like really rare, whether it was for Call of Duty, I have like, the night vision goggles. I have the RDX, what is it called? The RDX 2 or whatever. The little explosive vehicle. Remember, it's like a remote control vehicle that you
Oh yeah.
it's a kill streak in the game, and then
Yep.
once you get like, then
That
you
was
get
fun.
yeah, those were awesome. So I have that. I have a Splinter Cell, what's that big plane? Oh my god, what's that big plane? The carrier that you could it's like a B-50. That's not a B-52. Oh my god, it's got like the heavy weaponry. Even Call of Duty, it's one of the things that you could get. You play in the game in the campaign mode. Well, anyway, the game came with that. I have that. But I always got into that. Did you ever get into like video games and stuff like that, or do you have any video games? Do you have any systems or consoles or anything?
I still play Atari.
Like the original?
Yeah, isn't that what the kids are playing these days?
Yeah. No, because that's cool to play. Like nowadays, like forget it. I mean, you would have to have an old school TV because nothing works with the
Right.
LEDs anymore.
No, I do not have an Atari actually.
That'd be awesome.
No, I back before I had kids, I played a lot of video games, and then that kind of died down. I do have an Xbox Series X that I picked up like a month ago that I'm hoping I can play more, but we'll see. The jury's still out on that. But no, I've been playing video games since I was a kid. PlayStation was my first console, and I've had most of them since. Played a lot of Call of Duty, sports games. The Last of Us was really good. I don't know if you played that for PlayStation. It's a good game.
After Resident Evil 2, that was it for me. Like,
man, I didn't like playing those games that scared the shit out of me. I'm like,
that's exactly why I never played any.
I'm like, why am I playing this? Like my heart's racing.
Yep. Let me tell you something. I was 15 years old, 14, 15 years old when that game came out. And I remember you had to beat the game 4 times. So it was 2 discs, and you had to beat, disc 1, which was Leon, and then disc 2, which was Claire, and then you had to do the opposite, and you had to do with 2 and then 1. So you had to beat the game like 4 times.
And the controls on those games were so ass backwards.
Yeah, too. It was weird. It was like the weirder, and like you would to run and turn, you would have to like spin weird, and you would get stuck. Yeah, no, it was crazy. I remember and this is why I never played any other scary game after ever, even like that. And I heard about The Last of Us was great, and there's a bunch of different games that are like that. I remember I would always play during the day. I beat the game like a billion times because it was a fun game, but only when it was daylight out. At night, if I really wanted to play, I would tell my sister, Can you watch me play? Like, I would not play by myself just because I knew something was coming. So I hated it. So after that, I was like, why would I torture myself to get these games and to be miserable?
You're like miserable playing them. It's like, that's why I don't do like haunted houses either. Like I don't like people to scare me. I don't like being on edge or anything like that.
And it's coming. Like you sign up to go scream. Right. And it's like, why would I do this to myself? Yeah, no, exactly. what was the other thing? No, it was funny that you say about the Atari because now you have, updated consoles with, pre-installed with Atari stuff.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
It's making a comeback. So that's why I was wondering if you were for real because those are cool now.
I do have the little PlayStation that they made with like the 20 games loaded on, and then I got the Super Nintendo as well, but I got that modded with like 600 games.
That's awesome.
Between Super Nintendo and NES, so like I can play all of those classic games. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. Do you can you mod it yourself or you had somebody do it for you?
Yeah, I just bought it like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because I Commander agree with something. I have the ROMs on my computer, so I have like over 1,000 ROMs, so I know what that's like, and it's awesome. And look, I got so into it. Like when I first found out about them, I was like, that's a thing. I was like, you could just play that on there. I ended up buying. This is a USB powered.
Okay.
And this is a USB powered. So I plug them just right into the computer and just play. And I'm telling you, it brings me right back to when I was 4, 5. Because my first Nintendo, my like NES system, I was about 4 years old or so. I want to say like 3 or 4. And let me tell you something. The memories I have with that console. They got me like it came with Mario. I remember it was Mario and then the duck hunt, with the gun. And let me tell you something. I ever since then I was just obsessed with video games. And then after that it was Super Nintendo. I never got into Sega. The Sega, for some reason, I never got into.
Not as much for me either.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think it was just I was just so used to, and and every time. It wasn't like a dead console either. Super Nintendo had games coming out forever. You know what I mean? It never like died down. So there was no reason to like change consoles. And even when it did, I think the first console after that was Nintendo 64, which I never got. I never bought Nintendo 64. I don't know why. I just never did. I always had Super Nintendo, and then it was PlayStation 1.
That's what I got instead of the N64 because those two were kind of going at it back in the
Yep.
90s.
Mhm.
And it was weird because like PlayStation went with the discs, but then N64 was still the cartridges. And then I hated the controller for N64. So it was like I'd go to a friend's house and they have an N64. I'm like, great. Like,
Yep. That was the one thing too. It was so bulky. The joystick idea, I didn't like that. The fact
right.
that you had a trigger under it too was weird. And I only played at a friend's houses like after school and stuff. But again, it was never something that was appealing to me. Didn't catch my attention. I was like, oh, I really need this. Like no, like the game that I usually played was that Mario game.
Mario Kart?
No, just Mario, whatever it was. Mario 64. That's
yeah,
what it
okay.
was. Mario 64. And the other cool thing about it was the graphics. You actually had a 3D Mario, traveling all over the place, and his little sayings, woohoo! Like that's what I think made it appealing for the kids. But once I had the PlayStation 1, like, oh man, I was hooked. I thought that was the best system. I thought it was so much better than Nintendo at that time. And again, I never wanted Nintendo. I never looked for Nintendo. I was like, oh man, this is great. And then it went PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. And even, I don't know if you remember.
You have a PS5 now, right?
I have PS5. Yeah, I have PS5. I have I have 3 PS4s. I have 3 PS3s. My PS2, I don't know where the hell it went. I had it actually installed in my car. I have no idea where it went. My PS1 completely disappeared. I don't even know where the hell that
I just got rid of my PlayStation 1.
Why? That's going to be a classic at one point?
I got the small one, and I'm just like,
that's not the same. That's
it
not
just sits here. But it was hard because that was my console as a kid, so that was the same one.
These games, Crash Bandicoot, Jet Moto. I remember Jet Moto. Game Day 90. I never played the footballs like the Maddens and stuff. I was never into that. The Tekkens were always good. One of the games that was like a must-have for me. Do you remember NFL Blitz?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
those games were so fun.
They're making that on the arcade 1-ups now.
I saw it.
Arcade.
Yes, I saw it. The 4-player arcade. Yeah. So I was actually watching. I had some advertisement come up on my phone about it, and I was like, oh, because I've been looking for it for a 4-player arcade. I have the Marvel Children of the Atom, X-Men Children of the Atom one, and it comes with 4 games. But I was looking for one that had the 4 players for the Ninja Turtles, the Turtles in Time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted a commercial grade one, not that 1-up arcade. And so that came up for some reason because I haven't been looking for it like anytime recently. And I went on YouTube and I said, let me see what it's about. So many complaints about the whole machine, about the joystick not being calibrated properly until you do it yourself. The screen, they're saying it's kind of small for a game like that. It's 4-player. I think something like, I don't know if they said something. They mentioned the 19-inch screen, but I don't think that was the size for it. I think it was smaller than that. So yeah, I love arcades. I've always wanted and so when I got this one, I thought it was going to be a commercial grade arcade. Nope. I thought I was going to be able to put quarters in and, all that stuff. Not even close. It was just a regular, you have to put it together. And the worst part about it is I thought I was going to be able to hack into it and add more games to it. Can't. Completely sealed. Like you cannot do anything. There's no equipment that you could, plug in a USB cord right. and load up games or load up ROMs to it or anything. So disappointing. I bought it, played it about 4 times, never turned it on again.
Which one was that?
It was the X-Men Children of the Atom.
Okay.
It came with Street Fighter versus X-Men and then another 2 games. It was like 4 in total, which again, I didn't even expect that. I thought it was just 1 game. I thought it was because my favorite game, the most favorite arcade games that I ever played was Children of the Atom. That game was so much fun. My favorite character was Cyclops to play with. Iceman was my second.
Iceman.
Omega Red was my third. Like these characters were like, again, this was like the Street Fighter of that time. You had Street Fighter, you had Mortal Kombat, but this was like, another one up there. So I really, really enjoyed it. What is like your favorite type of video game if you have to pick one? Like genre and like
Probably
actual game.
sports. I mean, I would always play the basketball and the football games and like create myself and do like 99 overall, and it didn't work out as well when I was like a 25-year-old rookie anymore though. Like then I was getting a little old for it, and now I can't be like a 37-year-old rookie. But
Man, that's
yeah,
great.
those are my favorites. I do like Forza Racing a lot because that's fun. Like Horizon, it's a fun open world game. But and then like Call of Duty Battlefield 1, that's a fun game, but it's really hard. So I hadn't played Battlefield 1 for a couple of years, and then I played it like last weekend. I went online. I was just getting smoked by everybody because I'm starting fresh, like I'm just a level 1, and everybody's got everything already unlocked because the game's been out for so long. So I'm just like, and Battlefield, I don't know if you ever played it, but like it's really realistic where it's just a couple shots and you're dead. It's not like 5 shots before you're gone. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's shooter games. I could never really get into Halo. I tried, but I always just preferred the Call of Duty, the more realistic military games as opposed to that. So,
I do you remember Gran Turismo?
oh yeah, yep, that was a fun one.
That was the first ever badass like racing game.
Test
Like,
Drive,
I don't remember that one.
Test Drive 5 was good, but yeah,
Need for Speed, I remember.
Need for Speed was all right. I pretty much played Test Drive 5 and Gran Turismo 2.
See, I never remember that test drive. I remember my very first racing game was the first Gran Turismo, and then I got another, maybe the second one. I think it was for PS2 or even PS3. No, I think it was PS2. And then I never bought the. I actually had the whole wheel, that Wildcats wheel with the pedals and everything.
Yep. Yeah.
I had that whole system.
That
so
was
much
junk.
fun. Yeah, no, it was garbage. It was so.
But you felt real.
No, it felt cool. It was like, oh, I got the whole thing. I used to spend so much money on all these accessories. What a waste. I don't even know where anything is right now. And then what was the other game I was going to bring? So Battlefield. I remember playing the first Battlefield, but once you got used to Call of Duty, like you could not get used to Battlefield. It was completely different. The controllers were different. Everything about it was different. It was supposed to be, like you said, more realistic, but it was already like, I think there was already like 3 to 5 Call of Duties out already before that one came out. So you were already accustomed to, to Call of Duties, everything, and I think that's why, I mean, people are playing like for money right now that what do you call it? What the hell is the name of the game? Battlefield. And they have competitions of Battlefield and all that stuff, but I cannot. After the first one I think I downloaded it from somewhere. I want to say PlayStation 3. I think it was free. And then I was like, I don't know if it was 3 or 4. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, hell no. And I just deleted it from my hard drive because I didn't like it at all. There was another game, wrestling games.
SmackDown.
There was a oh my God. It was like a blitz of wrestling where the wrestlers were super jacked up, and it
had like the Giant and Hulk Hogan on the cover, right?
I think so. And it was John Cena, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I forget the name. That game was amazing. It was The Rock, I think, too, on the cover. Bad Company. What's Bad Company? Is that another game?
Another shooter game.
Oh, see, I don't remember that one.
I didn't play that one.
What was the other one? NFL Blitz the League. You remember that game?
Mm-mm.
So it was like what's his name?
WWE Legends of WrestleMania.
Yes, that one.
I think that's the game. With
they're massive. They're like on the.
Yeah, I think it's got like Hogan, Giant, with The Rock on it.
Yes.
That like an arcade style game.
Yes, arcade style. Yep. Game was so much fun, and there was another one with Doink the Clown, and it was all like power ups. Like he like electrocuted you, And then you had Shawn Michaels. That was another classic game too. I don't remember what console that was for. That was amazing too. Oh my god, what the
Did you
hell
ever play WWF Attitude on PS1?
I think I had
That
it.
was some of these games. Like I go back and I'm playing them again. I'm like, I don't know how I did this as a kid. Like this is like gonna give me like anxiety. Like Crash Bandicoot, and I'm like, I'm like dying like 8 times in a row.
Crash Bandicoot was fun. I never owned, believe it or not, I never owned Crash Bandicoot, but it came with I think it was a demo. Remember when PlayStation 1 came
Yeah,
with
yeah, you get the demo disc.
Right. So I think it was part of the demo. And like once you play the demo, like, oh, it like cut you off like mid like game, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh man. But I never bought it. I was like, oh, this is
Cool
supposed
Borders.
Cool Borders was all Cool Borders 2. I had both. I had 1 and 2. Tomb Raider, I had 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Did you ever try to get the nude code?
I never knew about the new code.
There, it was like this thing, but it wasn't real. But like people were like, "Oh man, can we get her?" You know, like these triangle, like it's so funny that people even cared about that back in the day.
Yeah, because she was all boxy, like her whole body. You know what? You know what's one thing? You remember the Game Genie for Nintendo? You don't remember the game? So do you remember? You know what Game Shark is?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was that for Nintendo.
Okay.
So I never had a Game Genie, but I always wanted one so bad. And then when the Game Shark was available for what's up, Talia? For PlayStation 1, I bought that thing. And let me tell you something. I loved every game because I was on God mode 24/7, so like nobody could touch me. Best times of my life. Best times of my life. Whoever created that was the best thing in the world. Yeah, Game Shark. See, flipping Jedi. He knows. He knows the Game Shark. No game was what do you call it? Was hard in that. No matter what it was. Bobby Ray. Siphon Filter was like
Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal was amazing.
Yeah, Twisted Metal was good. Twisted Metal was a classic. I think they tried to remake it, but they didn't do too well. Recently. Was it PS4? PS4.
PS.
Was it 3?
It was on. Well, PS2 they had Twisted Metal Black, which wasn't bad, and then was it PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 that they made it Twisted Metal again?
Yeah, no, I know they tried to remake it. I think it was a couple of years ago.
And then they had like Vigilante 8, which they tried to like rip off from Twisted Metal.
I don't remember
with the school bus on the cover.
School bus, maybe.
Same game, but they just different.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden. Remember that? Shinobi I never really got into. Contra those games were insane.
Jersey Devil, that was a good one.
I don't remember Jersey Devil. What was that?
It's like this weird creature that is like almost dressed like Batman, and you go around.
Oh, because I thought you meant like that acrobat vampire little thing. That game was awesome. But Contra, did you ever play Contra?
No.
No? None of them?
No.
Oh man. Missing out. Contra are like the most classic. They're like the first like Call of Duties. Like that's how like these games like for every console.
I played Medal of Honor, which
yes, that was hard too to play.
Yeah, that was hard.
Was very hard. I have one of them for EA Sports. I forget which one though. It was one of the. I think it was the first one. And let me tell you something. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins. That game was hard as hell. I never made it the first like 30 seconds of the first stage. I would always shut it off because it was so hard. No, really, I swear. I would start it and I would just shut it off right away. Siphon Filter. I remember the S gun. What's the S gun?
I don't know.
You know what game was good too? There was it came from an arcade. Time Crisis. Remember that?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I ever played that one either.
Oh yeah, there was in the arcades, and then I bought it for PlayStation 3, and I had a whole the orange guns and a whole setup and everything. Time Crisis. It was so much fun.
I'm surprised you don't have more arcades since you're so into gaming.
No, I wish. I told you.
Don't have the room.
Well, I'm looking for a second one, but I'm not getting anything else that's not number one commercial, which is like $2 to $3 grand depending on what it is. Number two, with the 4 players, and number three, something that it's hackable where I can add as many games as I want. And because I already made the mistake of getting this one. It was like $350 for these 4 games, and that's it.
Well, that's
You know,
and the prices have gone way up since then. The Simpsons game came out, and I think that's approached like $600 for these new arcade games.
you mean like the one up?
Yeah.
See, did you ever hear of the X Arcade?
Mm-mm.
So X Arcade is these customizable. Again, they come already preloaded with like 600, but they're just very generic.
Right.
And that's what I was gonna buy. But then I saw this, and I was like, oh man! I mean, the other ones, the X arcades are expensive. So I saw this, and I was like, oh man, 350. I was like, that's not bad. And then my mentality was, I could, hack it. Big mistake. Big mistake.
Well, and the arcades are cool, like again for that nostalgia factor, but like I just can't justify it when it's so expensive. But then also, I can have like tons of those games on a little console and take up a lot less space. So I just,
Yep.
if I could get one, it'd probably be Turtles in Time. But
Yes. That game. I remember. I think I still have it for Super Nintendo because I still have the
Yep.
original consoles. I have NES, Super NES, still like right now under my TV.
And then they just came out with Shredder's Revenge. I don't know if you played that one. It's
Oh
like,
hell yeah, I did.
I mean, that's like, damn, this is so awesome.
Yeah, I beat it. It was like I think it was somebody had mentioned it was like a part two of Turtles in Times. I
Yeah.
think it was like a more like a continuation because you still had the same villains
Right.
from Turtles in Time. And that game, I'm telling you, that game was amazing. So much fun. But I'm gonna pull this up now real quick, so we could talk about this. Because this is a big deal. Specifically talking about, we're talking about before with the constant reissues and stuff.
Oh, this is a Hot Toy show.
No, this is gaming. Now we're taking,
We're gaming now.
we're taking a little break from the main
I
focus
feel
of the
bad
show.
for all those that do not like gaming at all. That just listen to that for about 25 minutes.
I know, it's like, what are they talking about? So we talked about. So we have the Shanghai exclusive, which is no more an exclusive. Mark 46, which is a reissue. We have the Mark 5 reissued for the second time, and now we have this. So, what do you think of this?
I don't even know what to think. Like, didn't the first one come out in 2018? So it's been what, 4 years?
This came out after the movies. Yep.
I mean, I get it. They're branding this as like Snyder's Justice League. I think I saw that on some of the photos.
Yeah.
Um,
The same thing they did with the double pack Batman Black Superman.
I just don't get it because I think uh, I think that figure should have been out longer. I don't really think anybody was asking for this, so it's a little odd that they're just reissuing this. If they're going to reissue this, you would think that they would go through the whole Justice League team. Will they? Probably not, because that's not, Hot Toys does everything the way that I wouldn't do it. So it's not even a 2.0 really. I mean, it's just a reissue. The paint applications are going to be better, but I mean, that's really going to be about it. So like, it's very odd and it's out of like left field. I don't understand. I don't understand what their play is here, because I mean, I know the price was going on the secondary market for what, maybe like $500. So,
Yep.
but it's not like it was like $600, $700, $800. I mean, to me, it's not the Batman to reissue right now. There's the 89. There's a bunch of other ones that they could have done. So it's odd. I don't understand the timing. I would be concerned if you're a collector that is all about grails, because I do think that more and more figures are being reissued. Plus, I mean, it's just a matter of time, because the longer you're around, the more figures you make, you go through all the characters, well, then you kind of got to start over and start reissuing them and make them better and stuff like that with improvements. So, I mean, it's bound to happen, but it's odd. I did not see this coming. I'd be curious to see what you think about it too.
Well, I have the original one. I was actually looking for a second one because apparently, I don't know if you know that the original one, the suit from that movie from Justice League with the regular Batman suit, it came with the Bruce Wayne head sculpt without the
Yep.
mask. So from what I understand, that head sculpt was supposed to be for this suit, not that suit. So I wanted the second one to actually put that head on my second suit, on my second tactical suit. So I was actually looking for that. Was I going to pay what it was going for? It was like over $400. I was like, absolutely not.
Right.
So that's why I never got it. So you would think that, oh, it's being reissued. I'll be excited about it. I'm not at all. Like, and not because of anything else besides there's nothing different.
Right.
You know, what are they doing? So this base that you see here is the base that they give you with the original Batman suit from Justice League. So
I think they just painted it differently.
Well, they're repainted the suit.
Yep.
You know, they updated the paint of the paint app of the suit, and they give you a little bit of reddish, fire-ish looking, like the sand and the ground is supposed to look in the whole thing, in the whole nightmare scene. So the fact that it's a recycled base, it's very, very, and at this point they've been recycling bases forever. So it's just kind of like depressing because it's kind of like they're just taking shortcuts to just keep making money, like, and it's just easy money for them. You know what I mean?
And like you said earlier, this isn't the base where he can just stand straight up on. Correct.
That's another thing. It's not a flat base, so he's gonna be, you got to put his knee up somehow, like he is in the picture over here. You gotta stretch the suit out. Even though this suit, there's nothing wrong with stretching and stuff, but some figures that you got to be careful with have these bases as well, and you got to stretch them out, and you got to ruin the suit. And I'm not excited for this. Did I pre-order it? Absolutely not. Will I get it eventually? Hopefully, if it's still available, by the time it comes out, which it most likely will be, unless they didn't make many. Because believe it or not, the fact that it's branded Zack Snyder, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? It's just a big deal because of the fact that that's what people wanted. That Snyder cut was the movie that people really enjoyed over the regular one. So,
oh man, put it to shame.
Huh?
Put it to shame.
Well, that's the thing. So people just with the brand will be like, you know what? Let me get it, even if they have the old one. Again, there's nothing appealing to me that I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I really need it. No, like I said, if I could get it, I will. If not, it is what it is. But I was looking for a second one because of that, because I heard that you're supposed to put that head sculpt with this one, and because if you put that head sculpt in the figure that it came in, there's a huge gap here. You know what I mean, in the suit, so it doesn't look like it belongs. So
doesn't he come with the collar attachment though?
I don't think so. If it does, I didn't see it in the box, and I didn't use it. So I said, you know what? Let me just remove the head, and I just have Batman. Actually, did I use it? I think I did use it. Actually, let me see.
Go look.
Yeah, no, I did. I left it alone. I left it how it was supposed to be, but there's still a gap. So that's why I figured. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's true what they're saying, that it belongs on the other figure. But what can they possibly have done differently? Painted a little different shade of gray. Like, I mean,
no, there's not much they can do differently. I just don't understand why they're even reissuing it. 3
reissues in a row is not. And I thought that we were getting like maybe different facial expressions. I don't remember if the first one came with 4. I know for a fact maybe 3. But I think this one's a different one right here.
Well, I don't know. The first and that last one look the same. It's just he's got the glasses on in one of them.
Right. So I don't know if that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're giving you 4 now or 3, but exactly. These look the same. One's looking down, one's looking straight. But again, even if they gave you that differently, I don't think is that big of a deal for you to have to reissue an entire figure. And again, a lot of people are getting it, but go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, you'd think they would come out with this pretty quickly because they've done this before. They have
Right.
everything they need to do it, but yet it's not even going to be released on Sideshow until October of 2023 to January of 2024. Like,
I think it'll be done before that, believe it or not.
it's
I
just
think I think it'll be one of those figures that you'll see way beforehand because again, there
we
is
should.
absolutely nothing new here. You
Right.
know what I mean? There's nothing that they need to go do R&D for. There's nothing that they need to do, oh my god, like this is going to take time. Literally everything that you see. So the grappler gun is from BVS. Okay? That's the same exact gun that he got from the BVS Batman. The base, like I said, hits from the Justice League regular Batman. The 3 faceplates, if we're getting 3, I think they're reused. They're the same suit. There's no changes to it. There's nothing that should be taking that long. So I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. It's very depressing.
There is a slight chance that I do get this figure because it's a Batman that I don't have, but it's not a Batman that I really really want. So I guess the jury's out for me on that. But I mean, I already have 2 of the Ben Affleck Batmans. I had the armored as well, and I sold that one because I just figured like I don't need all of them. So there's a slight chance I might get it because it's Batman, and it's not a bad looking figure. It's just
No,
kind
it's
of
it's it's a beautiful figure. That's
it's
the thing.
mind boggling on just kind of why they're doing this. So I guess we'll kind of see. But do you think this is worrisome for figures that people want to be Grail status going into the future with all these reissues?
I mean, I don't think that I've always said that Hot Toys is not going to allow eBay to make the money that they can make. You know what I mean? So whether a figure that you finally get, this sold out, people were going crazy trying to find it, overpaying for it. Even this weapon here is from that original Batman from Justice League. So it's nothing new there either. So Hot Toys is going to keep making whatever they feel like they need to be making to kill the market on eBay, period.
Right.
Whether it's a grail to you or not, they don't care. That's not their problem because it's not a grail to them. They need that. You know what's grail for them? Money. That's it.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. At this point, anything grail is going to be from, over like 8 years ago, if that. You know what I mean? Because to go backwards like that, it's a different story. I mean, they still can. But, Grail, I think those days, again, you could call something Grail something that is for you a Grail,
right?
But it's not a community Grail anymore. Those days are gone.
I mean, I think the Batmans, the Iron Man, Spider-Mans, these popular characters, yeah, I don't, if you're looking at spending a bunch of money, just be patient and see if they'll reissue it because odds are, Nightmare Batman, they reissued that one. Even the Superman, it's not the exact same as the Justice League, it's the black version, but still, like, whether you like one or the other, it's still another figure. But if you have like Jack Sparrow or even John Wick, John Wick, you might get another one, but like these older figures that, maybe the character isn't as prominent as a Batman, then maybe they won't make another one. I remember too, they always said like Nebula would be a Grail when she came out because they won't make her again. But if they're making a Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and she's not a Grail by any means, but if, even just the fact that if they're still making movies, you never know. So it's just tough to say.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. It could be, the only difference is that it's going to be a different take on the character, so she's going to look different. She's going to have different clothing. She's going to have, I don't know if you noticed.
Because they want to make toys and make money.
Correct. So if you noticed in Thor, she had something on her forehead now.
Yeah.
Completely different than she did in, Infinity War.
Star-Lord was different.
Correct. So, so all these things are going to keep changing, but is the character a Grail for the collector? Then that's a different story.
Right.
If it's somebody who, had to save up to be able to get it. And then, oh my God, I was finally able to get it, and I finally found it. I can't wait to get my figure. I finally got this figure. Oh my God, this is a Grail for me. Then that'll be a Grail for that person forever.
Right. I would just say if you're going to spend big money on these figures, in the future, just tell yourself, am I okay doing this knowing that they may or may not make this figure again? And then like if you're going to be pissed that they're going to reissue these figures because you spent big money, then just don't do it and wait and just
Right.
collect forward, because
Right.
I think more and more of these figures are going to be reissued or 2.0s or whatever the case may be. I mean, I was burned a little bit on the Nightmare Batman, and I'm okay with it because I'm happy that other people can get it. But I mean, at the same time, I'm like, well, damn, I should have just waited another year. But
It is updated though. It's not the
Right.
same exact figure. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not, because I have the original. I actually have them right next to each other, and they're completely different. The jacket's different. That handkerchief that the little thing that he's got on his face is completely different. So they did change a couple things here and there, which is okay. It is what it is. But I feel like they could have still made it better. They could have still made it better. And, I think they did whatever they did to, again, kill the market, the secondary market. I remember, talking about this multiple times. I ended up selling them. I had 3. I kept 1. I sold 2, $700 each. I bought another one for $700 and sold it for $850.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how hot they were at the time. Like, nobody could get near them. And I took a chance on that $700 one. I was like, oh my God. And I was stuck with it for months. And I was like, man, did I just mess up right now? I was like, did I mess up? And somebody on eBay was like, here you go. I was like, yes. And that's the only way I got it. In the groups, nobody was spending that money, so I got it. I sold it on eBay, and I was like, oh, thank God. But I never took chances like that ever again. I just knew that figure specifically would do the trick. But man, I was so nervous. I was like, oh man, did I mess up? I'm going to pull up the Mark 5.
Beautiful looking figure.
No, Mark 5 is one of the nicest. I know what I did.
Mark Hamill, Hot Toys.
one of the most, I think one of the sexiest suits. I think, and it reminds me of how is this the newest one? No, this is the old. This is the first reissue.
This is the old new one.
This is the first reissue. Exactly.
This one was like 3 months ago.
So you get the same exact thing with a different base, literally.
Right.
Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Why are they doing this when this one's still available for retail anyway? It's crazy. All that's going to do is leave Sideshow stuck with these and then have to give them to people for, with a discount, free shipping, blah, blah, blah. Why would they do that to I mean, I get it. It's money, but it's like, at least wait till they sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's, again, just mind-boggling. I don't know what their strategy is here. Like, let it sit. Like, let it go out of stock before you reissue it with a base. Even if it is an exclusive, how exclusive is it? And I mean, we just don't know that stuff. And will it come to Sideshow? Probably eventually. So it's just weird. I don't get it.
Oh, it's not even up. It's not even up yet. I thought it was.
No.
This thing is beautiful. I can't wait for this one.
Oh, you can't wait to get that one.
Is it
Another
shipping?
Iron Man.
Oh, shipping. You don't have any of these, right?
No, I only have the I currently have the 85 and the 85 battle damage.
No, this is beautiful. I can't wait to get this thing.
If it's not Batman or Joker, I typically don't collect more than one.
Batman or Joker are your top 2?
Yeah, maybe Vader. I might get a couple Vader variants.
Are you getting these?
That right there?
No.
Batman and Robin?
No, this thing right here.
Yeah, I probably will, yeah.
Like, only one?
I'm not rich like you.
Well, no, but payment plans, man. Come on, man. Come on.
No, just one. I'm good with one. I'm a simple man.
So how would you display it then?
Battle damage, because I have the Rogue One Vader.
Are you gonna put them next to each other? Like to have one like this and then one like this?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know how I'd display it because right now my Star Wars is pretty much all just original trilogy, other than Mando. So it'll be interesting how I will display them. I haven't thought about that yet.
What was the other reissue? Oh wait, the Mark 46.
Wherever that Mark 46 guy is on Facebook, I hope he's happy.
What do you mean?
The guy would always put, whenever a figure was announced, he'd put reissue the Mark 46. Every single one. And then he
See,
just
like,
disappeared.
does anybody know if they did anything to the body? Like, do you know if this is updated at all?
I do not personally.
See, I don't know if they did anything. Again, the base is cool. Is it worth like getting another 46? I don't know. It's already shipping, which is awesome. But again, it's like, man, like, do you really want this thing? Like, because I got, like I said, I have two of the original ones with the head sculpt, which is, in my opinion, that's what matters if you get it with the head sculpt. But I don't know what they possibly could have done to this figure. I mean, again, the base is super, super nice, but
is it the same base?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not anywhere near close. Like this is, for the 42, for the 40, for this, for the 42, for the 46, the original, you had that stone base that was like, that's like,
yeah.
And then they gave it to Captain America, I think. They gave it to this one as well, and that was the deluxe version. So I got two of those, and so again, I really like this base. Am I going to use it anywhere? Probably not, because it's way too bulky. But I love it. I do love it. I love the bases. It's just they're not practical. They take up so much room. But that figure is really nice. I wish it would have changed something. Giving you like a full battle damage one or something. Because the only battle damage thing is this right here, the arc reactor.
Right.
This is when he hits it with the shield.
Yep. I just watched this part of the movie just a few nights ago, actually.
Yeah, I've been watching them too. I was watching Iron Man 2 a little while ago.
Watched a little bit of Endgame today. Yeah.
I was watching Endgame. When did I watch Endgame? Oh, I was watching Endgame when Captain America stealth suit came out to see like where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't remember seeing this suit. And then when I saw it was like at the very beginning, I was like, oh my God. I had no idea. No, I had no idea. I really didn't. Why would they call this Endgame?
Right.
Look at this base.
It's a cool base, but yeah, like you said, it's not practical for everybody. But
beautiful base. I love the base. The fact that it's got Civil War and not, Iron Man on it, that's really cool. But it's just, it's literally the same exact figure. As far as I can see right here, it's the same exact figure that I have two of, so I'm in no rush to get this thing by any means. But it's, whoever likes it, whoever wants it, God bless you, enjoy it.
Well, and yeah, I mean, there's always new collectors, so it's, I mean, in a way, it's nice that they're reissuing these figures because those that missed out can get it. Yep. It just goes back to it's kind of weird on what they're picking and when they're doing it, when they could be focusing on maybe other stuff, or with all of these announcements, when are we going to get some releases? So it's just odd, but it's not like a bad thing, I guess. It's just kind of different.
Yeah, no, I don't. I know. I used to complain. I used to complain about reissues a lot, but it got to the point where it's like, what is complaining going to do? You know what I mean? Right. It's not going to do anything because you're not the owner of the company, so they're going to do whatever they need to do to make that money. So, it is what it is, and you just got to suck it up. You either buy it or you don't. And the only thing with with the reissues is when they're straight reissues. If it's a 2.0, it's a different story.
True.
But if it's like a straight reissue, man, it's like, oh, that's painful because now you got to wait for the next announcement or the next release or the next, and Captain America's not even up here yet. I can't wait for that to be announced if it even comes, or they may give it to us in at New York Comic Con. Are you going to New York Comic Con?
No, I'm not. Are you?
Are you from New York?
I'm not.
I don't know why I just thought that you were from New York for some reason. That's why I was just like, are you going? No, I am. Actually, listen to this story. So there's a collector in my neighborhood, okay? This guy doesn't post anything. He doesn't post his collection. I can tell you, he's got like hundreds of Hot Toys. Like, not like 100, not like 200, not like 300. Like, he's got hundreds. Okay. And again, he's very quiet about his collection. I know that he's got a big collection because we've talked and he's told me, and he posts. He in the past he posted a custom chrome. I think it was a Mark 50 that he got. He sent out to get chromed out, and then he got it, and then he posted it somewhere, and I was like, yo. So we start talking. And he's actually a moderator in my group. He literally lives down the street from my house. Okay, we've never met in person. Lives right down the street. So last year he messaged me. He messaged me about Comic-Con. And New York City at the time was on lockdown because of COVID, but lockdown meaning like you couldn't go anywhere without your vaccine proof or whatever. So he tells me, "Are you going to Comic-Con?" I was like, "Well, I'm not vaccinated, so I don't think I'm going to be let in because you needed proof of vaccination everywhere you went, specifically New York City." So he's like, "I'm going, blah blah." So he went. So this, I've always wanted to go. I've never been. So this year, again, a couple weeks ago, he messages me. He's like, "Yo, you going to Comic-Con?" I was like, "I would love to, but I haven't gotten tickets, and apparently Saturday is already sold out because Saturday is when like all the stars go and to sign autographs and stuff." And he goes, "Well, I got 2 extra tickets, one for Thursday and one for Saturday." I was like, "What?" He goes, "You want to go?" I was like, "Absolutely." So that's
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So that's how I'm going. So now that there's no more vaccination anything in New York City at this point, now I could go freely without having to worry about any of that stuff.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so it's gonna be my first year. I'm gonna bring probably like 15 cameras, like all around, like strapped to like everything on me, backpack and everything to record every angle.
Stream it.
Yeah, I want to, but I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know if I should do that from my phone. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm definitely gonna be posting stuff from there. Pictures. I'm gonna be taking pictures, videos. But I would like if it works out with the stream, I'm definitely streaming it.
Nice.
I just don't know, with the signal and all that stuff being in the building.
A lot of those places are built like bunkers, so like it might not be.
Yep, and the
feasible.
data center is like insane. So, but yeah, so that's how I'm gonna end up going. So hopefully, we'll I'll have a good time over there. But this thing, oh my god, this thing is amazing.
Little Groot.
I can't wait. No, I have it. I have that one. Where is it? I have it somewhere. Oh, right here.
There he is. That's cool.
This thing is awesome. It comes with like 3 different heads, and I broke like one of them. So I put the smiling one on where he's dancing. But no, this thing is. I can't wait for this. This thing is really that color, man. You know how nice it's gonna be? Yeah, and it looks. See how it looks like so green here? It doesn't look like this in hand. It looks more grayish in hand than green, which is even nicer because I love the way it looks in pictures in person. I haven't seen a lot of people post pictures of this figure at all. Let me see.
I don't like it that the prices keep creeping up.
Well, every time they give you a new paint application, it's like here
higher,
you go, another $30-$40. But no, this is the 85. I think the coolest armor was the 85.
We were talking the other night on me getting a deal on that 85 battle damage. It's the clean version that's like 428. The battle damage is like 450, 446.
Yeah, no, it's always
so it's even it's just even higher than I thought it was.
The battle damage stuff is always more expensive just because obviously it takes longer to beat up and stuff. Even though you get less, if you really think about it, you're getting less. But I think it's the work that you're paying for.
I actually got a pretty good deal on it though, because $375 after tax and shipping.
Where'd you get it? Sideshow?
Yeah, I had the points and then the 10%.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's good. See, they're giving you the exclusive is not for
Oh, he's
sale.
not on for sale
Nope.
anymore.
But this one,
Yeah.
they didn't give you. They didn't give you. This is the one you got.
Yeah.
The exclusive with the shield.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, look,
Sideshow
446.
exclusive.
Yeah, I got two of these, and I got two of the regular ones. Two of these. No, two of the regular battle damage. Oh shoot, the battle damage. Oh no, it's the same thing right here. This one. Yeah, these I got two of these also. Um, you guys are going to be getting those in the raffles.
Woo.
Yeah, the I'm putting the special. I'm going to do the like I said. I'm going to do the heavy hitters. Heavy hitters raffle. It's going to be all the the exclusive 85. It's going to be Pennywise. It's going to be figures like that. Even though for my raffle right now for the diecast raffle, I think I have some exclusives on there as well. But yeah, no, these figures are nice. What was the other thing that there was another announcement that was made. Oh, Cable. Cable is almost that should be here soon. Did you order Cable?
Nah. I haven't even seen Deadpool 2.
Oh, you haven't. Yeah, no, Cable. I'm waiting for my Cable. This thing is so nice. Look at that.
Look at that. Good head sculpt.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's so nice. That body. Mine's gotta be displayed just like this.
Yeah, I get two. One with clothes on, one without.
Well, I have the Toys R Us one. I have the Toys R Us one, so he's fully closed, and then I'm gonna have this one off. But I want to get a second one anyway. I want to see. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna worry about getting another special edition. If it's available once it comes out and stuff, and I'll use coupons and stuff, then that'll be fine. But I got one, on pre-order right now, but I'm definitely getting it. I want to get at least two because there's no way that to display them both like this. Look at that, one fully closed and then the other one like that. Why didn't you order it? You do not like it just as a figure without watching the movie? You need to watch movies to be
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I need to have the emotional connection to it to get it. I won't get a figure just because it looks cool.
Oh, really?
I got to be too selective to do that. I mean, if money wasn't an issue in space, then if I was you, it wouldn't be an issue.
What is one figure that you did get because it looked cool and you kept and not because I know you said some you like when you got it you're like, oh, I wish I didn't get this, and then you sold them. But what is one that you got that because it was cool and then you were like, oh.
So, and I kept it. But are you saying but I kind of regret it or just
No, that you actually kept it because you said when you don't like them you sell them, you buy them, and then you're like,
right.
oh, I thought it was cool, and then you sell them.
Probably. I mean, probably the Wonder Woman Golden Armor or even this Jack Sparrow. Like I like the movie a lot, Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's not like in my top 10 of all-time favorite movies or all-time top 10 favorite characters. But I do like it, but like the figure is just really cool. Same with Wonder Woman. Like the movie was kind of iffy, but I needed a Wonder Woman, and I think the golden armor looks really cool. The figure is really, really spectacular as well. So, I mean, I guess you could say I bought those two because I thought they just looked cool, but
you kept it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, golden armor is nice. Here, Rick, this is your Falcon reissue right here.
Yeah, Captain America.
I can't wait for this figure to come out. Did you order this? No.
No.
Look at these wings, man. These are going to be so nice.
I did not like this series. If anything, I would just go back and get the original Falcon if I was going to get one.
But like from the first one or the purplish one?
Civil War?
Civil War was the second one.
Yeah.
The first one was the Winter Soldier when he's all gray. Oh man, let's see what he's saying. I said for a few dollars more.
Yeah, we're all talking about Clint Eastwood here in the chat. I might consider getting that Sideshow Good, Bad, and the
See,
Ugly figure.
I can't now with Sideshow.
I know
No.
it's risky, and that's why I'm considering it. But it'd be cool to have that representation in the collection.
If you had room, if you had money, if you had the money to spend, the extra money to spend to buy this, would you buy this? Like, do you think it's cool? Like,
Yeah, probably because then I just even though he's Captain America, I'd probably just still put him with my Endgame lineup.
see, like this pose here. I don't know if you remember the show. Like, this is supposed to fully close him off. You know what I mean? So that goes to show you. Remember, he put the wings on top, and the shield was on top of the entire hole, covering the wing, covering
Right.
his whole head. But here they're trying to get to that pose, but they can't because it's showing you that the articulation is not like what you think. When do you think? Oh man, right now I'm at 11:50. Okay, so I don't know. Don't ask me about those negative things in public. Okay. um. Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope never, but there's no such thing. And if I have to start selling stuff, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. So yeah, so I don't want to think about that. Yes, yeah, I can't wait for this thing. I have, like I said, I have both. The cool thing is that the wings are, I think, they're not 100% to scale, so you could fit them in my stuff, in my cases. But I think these wings are like a lot bigger, so I don't know how that's gonna work. That's yeah. No, it's
Take
funny.
some walls down.
It's funny. It's funny he says that because I always say if I win the lottery, man, I'm buying the house next door and I'm just extending the basement like and creating like a walkthrough into the other house. I'm telling you, I swear to God, I say that all the time. If I win the lottery, I'm buying the house next door and then just making an extension into the other house. War Machine Mark III. Yeah, that's the is that the Civil War? I think that's the Civil War one, right? The Mark III?
Yeah, because Mark IV was Infinity War.
Yeah, and then Mark V was Iron Patriot, which was Endgame. Right?
No.
I think. Yeah. Iron Patriot wasn't Mark V?
Mark VI was Endgame.
Mark VI was Endgame. So Mark V was Infinity War then, no? Because he was in Endgame, he had two suits, didn't he? He had the regular gray one, and then he had the Iron Patriot at the end when he got crushed. Remember when he's screaming "Canopy, Canopy, Canopy," and he opens
Right.
up, and then he returned in the Iron Patriot. So he had
I can't
two.
believe the Mark IV came back to Sideshow for like a couple days.
When was that?
A couple weeks ago. Must have found some extra stock. Came back as a low stock item.
I like
Could
to
have
see your figures
picked them
have
up.
space to breathe. Yeah, me too, JB. Me too. No, I'm telling you, I believe me.
Me too.
Look, I ended up buying these because it was getting a little depressing. So Mario told me exactly which ones to get from Amazon. These risers.
Yep.
So he told me I was looking into them because people have been using them for years. And so he told me exactly what to get. He sent me the link right on Amazon. I ordered them right away. So I got 5 boxes in total of them. So they're about I think I have about 50 or something. And I started actually using them because I don't know. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to see, but actually, let me see if I could show you. See the top shelf under the Batmobile?
Mm-hmm.
That shelf, if you could see in the back, there are figures that are taller. That's the first shelf I used them on, and actually worked out because it looks nicer. They're not all covered up by each other,
Right.
So I have one up on risers, and then the other two rows below it. I have Infinity War. It's amazing. Yep, those are nice. An Emerald couple next door knocked on.
Good idea.
Imagine. Iron Pitcher was dubbed Mark V. Okay, so Mark V. So then he was so he had a Mark IV as well in Endgame. Then the Mark III was Infinity War.
I think that's the worst one, right? Was the Mark III or is it the Mark II?
I like the one from Civil War because that was like the beefier suit. He was like it looked very bulky and it had the is it that one? Yeah, the military print on it. That's the one I really like.
Yeah, I think it's the Mark II is the least liked in the community. Yeah.
The Mark II was which one was that? Was that the
It was another one that was like
another gray? Another gray.
Yeah, it was gray and it was more of like a skinny down version.
Yes, it was a thin one. Yep, because in Iron Man 3 he had the Iron Patriot as well.
Yep, and it's from Iron Man 3, so.
Yeah. So he had two on Iron Man 3. Civil War. Yeah, Civil War's Mark 3. Mark 4 is Infinity. Yep, no, it makes sense. Yeah, I like the Civil War one. That's my favorite one.
I like the camo pattern in the Mark 4. I think that's pretty cool.
That's the one I'm talking about. The one.
Yeah, that came back in stock for a little bit.
I didn't even know. Wait, no, hold on. So the military print is Infinity War. Yep, that's the
Mark 4.
But the Civil War suit is really nice too. That's a really nice figure too. Yeah. I like when War Machine is bulkier than thin because he's supposed to be, War Machine. So right, exactly. So that's why I like it. Your Raffledgersburg. Thank you, Thule. You're gonna be in the next one, I promise. Actually, let's do it now, real quick. This is what I want you to do. So you're gonna type in the first. So let's say your email is Thule Jacobs at hotmail.com. Type in the first part of your email first, then in a separate comment, do the second part, and then when you get to the at, if it's Gmail, just write G. If it's Hotmail, just write H. Don't type in the entire thing, and I'll make it. I'll see it. I'll figure it out, and I'll email you right away, and then respond to me if you got it. Let's do it now before we get out of here.
Do it.
Yeah, no, but I can't wait for. All right, hold on. So, to the last. Here we go. All right, perfect. I think we got it.
Godspeed, everyone.
Got it, Thule. Got it. All right, so I'm gonna what do you call it? Email you immediately. And then we'll go from there. All right, so I emailed you. Email me right back, or just tell me in the chat if you got it, and then it's as soon as you get it, then we're good. Let's see. Yes, good luck. Everyone is right. I already shipped actually the winner's figure this morning, so it's on its way to Spain right now.
Wow.
Yeah, he won.
So these raffles are worldwide.
Well, so if you live in the lower 48 states, you get free shipping. If you live anywhere else in the world, you could still play, but you're responsible for the shipping.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Which is, it's not terrible. If you win a figure, for $20, $40, and you still got to pay $50, $60 for shipping.
Still
you
win.
Just got a figure for $100, and you know what I mean. And instead of paying, $230, $240, $250, $260, $270, you know what I mean. So it's still worth it. So that's why I give people that, because I could have easily said no, only people from the U.S. But it's kind of unfair because I think that winning having the chance of winning a figure for $20 or $40 or whatever, I think it's awesome. So
Yeah.
just to have that chance, period, I think is nice enough to do. But I had something fun for Big Dog Pound, but he didn't show up today. So I guess next time I saved. Yeah, I
Come
saved.
on, man. Stop living your life and get on here.
I know. It's Saturday night. What could you possibly be
Yeah.
doing during the
What could be
summer?
better?
Unbelievable. Okay, no, that's what I want to ask. Yeah, JB. Yeah, so actually the winner, he was from the Netherlands, Robin, and he just recently moved to Spain from the Netherlands, and so I've shipped to the Netherlands before to him, actually on a trade, believe it or not. He shipped me his figures, and then once I got them, I shipped his, and no problem. He's a moderator in my group as well. So worldwide is all game, but you're responsible obviously if you win for shipping. And so how I worked it with him was, I was on the phone with him. I called him through Facebook Messenger, and I put in his information. I told them, I asked the post office, the post office people. I said, how much is it going to be? They gave me the price. So while I'm on the phone, obviously I said, all right, it's going to be this much. He sent me the money immediately. Once I got it, I just shipped the figure. So that's how I'm going to work that with people, overseas. So there's no issues. There's no, you know what I mean? There's no problems. And let me see if Thule got the email. Thule, make sure you check your spam just in case. And then once we're done figuring that out, then we're out of here. Grandma is past his bedtime. He's falling asleep.
It's true. I got a lot of football to watch tomorrow, so I got to get some sleep.
It's true, he said. I live in the future. It's Sunday. And I said, oh, wow, that's awesome.
Ooh.
Wait, 6:03 a.m. Oh, man. You're 6 hours ahead. That's insane. What part of the Netherlands? He was in I forget the name. Oh man, I forget. Oh, he got it. See, spam. I told you.
We ready to roll?
All right, guys. Just want to say, I'm in. Yeah, exactly. You'll get it probably the next day on Common Flex. JB in the morning. All right, guys. Well, it was awesome hanging out with you guys. Thank you guys for being here on a Saturday night. Super late. I was waiting for Graham to get here because he's always late. So I will talk to you guys. Thule, any questions, about the whatever numbers you want for the raffle. Also for JB, if you want to message me, if you're on Facebook or whatever, you could check out the whole thing there. And again, thank you guys for being here. Graham, thank you for being here tonight. Let them know where they can find you.
Hey, thanks for having me, Fabs. You guys can find me on YouTube or Instagram, The Jedi Knights Watch. Come subscribe if you haven't already. Be a part of the watch. Going to be getting a new collection tour video out hopefully this week. So stay tuned for that. Have a great night, everybody.
All right, guys. Good night, and I'll see you on the next one.
Catch you on the flippity flip.